Let us understand what growth in general is. Growth means a part of your system, yourself, or your society is achieving some higher level of economic standard, maybe higher level of social standard, or maybe higher level of political standard. So, how do you achieve growth? The fundamental area where growth can be created is value creation. But how do you create value? That is a very tough point to ask. Value can be created when you address the pain points of the customer. For that, you should understand the pain of the customer. You should feel empathy towards the customer. Who you are selling, you should have empathy towards them. And to under pain can be either be synthesized, can be synthesized organically or inorganically. When you synthesize pain organically, then you have to understand where person is currently standing in his or her appearance and where does he want to go in the next couple of years or 2 years. You have to ask him two questions. Where does your product stand today? Where are you standing today? Or where do you want to reach in the next couple of years or 3 years? When you understand point A where the people is where the person is standing and point B where the person wants to reach, you should understand the difference. What gaps or what blockers is he facing in reaching from point A to point B? That blocker or the gaps, that is called the pain point of a customer. When you understand the pain point of a customer, you can create value to them. Value can be created when you have a good product to them, when you sell a good product, or maybe even if you are selling something which he or she is satisfied, that is okay with it. But he or she, but they should have some sense of feeling that you are solving some kind of problem with for them, which they feel. And that is where you need to focus on your product or yourself. And if you are going for political skills, if you understand these things, then you understand much of the larger things. Now this is the entire growth and this is the entire pain point that one should understand before he moves forward in the process. Now let us understand what are the next steps. How do we achieve this kind of steps? Let's say I am a seller and you are a customer to me, and I am selling a pen. Firstly, I should understand what type of pen. What do you want? Are you currently using a pen? Or are you currently using a pencil? You should make him feel that there's certain things that are getting involved when you are selling a pen. There is certain value that you are giving to him. If you don't do that, the people who is the customer who is listening to you won't have that sense of attachment towards you. He won't put his ear towards your mouth in order to listen. He won't be focused on what you are selling. And that is why you should understand what sales process is without going much further into it. That is the whole process of growth looks like. Now, to for a value creation, for growth, you should understand the value that you are creating and how fast you create value for it. So when a customer comes to you, he wants a quick solution to his problem, and you should be able to provide some kind of solution which is at least the idea of the solution very quickly. He's not going to wait for you for a very long amount of time in order to just to understand what kind of solution are you going to bring to this table. He might get bored. He doesn't have an attention span of like 100 minutes, 200 minutes. He might have an attention span of 30 minutes. So how are you going to garner his attention? Firstly, you should know something that he's excited about. But you can't understand a person in the first 5 minutes or 30 minutes, right? So you should have a very general idea about something. You should have a brand with you. And how are you going to create a brand? And that is very important. Firstly, you can associate yourself with something bigger, with something larger picture. Let's say I have a big actor with me working with us, so you know that you are a certain kind of sustainable person. And let's say he doesn't let's say you work for Stanford, right? And then he say understand, right, you are kind of sustainable person, you can work on his or her product. That is where you are going to lure him into buying, and that is how the cycle of sales begins. The brand is created when you say no to 10 different things. It is not created when you say yes to everything. You should know what you are selling, and that is what is called a service provider persona. You should first understand you have a list of things that you have, and these are the list of and the ideal customer profile for that means the list of people who are going to buy your product. That is first to be understandable. And if you don't even understand that kind of things, then I don't think so it's much important to a larger picture what you are going to build for himself.